This video is brought to you by Draeger's Classics.
This is the day I bought the TR3, and Andrew's driving it home. And this is the first time he's driven a TR3 before. Anyway, getting familiar with it there. It was a neat little car, and I liked it.
Andrew's first time driving a TR3. Well, this is Andrew coming back from bringing the car from down in Kent, so it's about a 40-mile drive that he just did.
Hi, I'm Jerry Draeger, Draeger's International Plastic Sales in Seattle, Washington. We're here at Draeger's Clubhouse where I want to show you this 1962 TR3. Now, I haven't had very many of these, but I've always had a soft spot for these TR3s. First one I ever sold was, wow, it was about 1971, 72, 75, somewhere back there. It belonged to a friend of mine, and I've always kind of liked the looks of them and stuff. They're a cute car. And I've had other friends that have had them, so I have a little bit of feeling for them. In fact, I've got one friend here that has restored one. He took it all the way apart and put it all the way back together, did it all himself. He painted it. It was beautiful. And anyway, I found this TR3 here in the Seattle area, and I went down and I looked at it. I liked it. I bought it, and Andrew drove it home. Anyway, we got almost home, or he got here, and the clutch was working, so was the slave cylinder on the clutch was bad, and so we had to put a new slave cylinder on there, and then which Joe at Old School Garage did. Plus, he serviced it and safety checked it to make sure everything's in good order. And you know, this car, it's decent. It's a good little car. It's good and solid. Everything looks good. You know, I mean, there's some pitting on this gas cap right there. We have the top for it. Hasn't been on very often, I don't think. It's a little bit difficult to put on. You can see the wheels are good. Everything looks good in through here. I had the seat bases in here replaced, and also the carpet. I had Andrew buy new carpet, and we put new carpet in it, so that's all good. It's good and straight along here. Now, there's a little tarnish right there, and that I see. This hood is good. There's a little dent right there. That's probably the worst thing on this thing, is this spot right there. Now, down here in the very bottom here, you can see this black tape we put on here. It had bubbles in here on both fenders. Not back here, but we took it in, and Steve cleaned it out, fixed it, and then instead of having to repaint and try to blend the yellows in to make it look good, he came up with this idea of putting the black stripes on here with the two stripes back there, so he carried it all the way to the very back here. It looks really good. You don't even hardly notice that it's there. That's just a piece of dirt. Everything else looks good on here. This all looks good all through here. Bumper, well, actually a lot of that comes off. I mean, this chrome, it's got a little bit of, I see a little tarnishing in here. It's might have been in the chrome. I see it in here too, but the paint's all good. Now, this is not the original color on this car, but it all looks, you know, it looks good. It's a good little car. It runs good, drives good. I had to haul it to Joe because of the master cylinder. Again, same thing on this side here. He fixed that on the bottom there, so that was all good. These doors, yeah, open up good. And of course, we got the side curtains and everything for it, the top and all that. So I think you'll find that this is a decent little car that you'll like to drive. I want to show you the inside of this trunk now. We have a little lever right here. Put this down, it goes right in here. So that holds that up. These are the part of the new carpets that went underneath the seat. Andrew didn't put them in, so they're there if you want to put them in. These are part of the door panels, you said, you think?
Kick panel, I think.
Kick panels or so. So I did put those in. Boy, it's heavy. Oh, that's the jack in the glove box. So you want to hand crank it. There you go. Actually, you got two of them. Look at that. And here's the jack handle. So here we go. Right here is this is the wind wings, or I shouldn't say wind wings, they're side curtains. This is a real Roadster because it's got side curtains. And you can see they're in decent shape. Everything looks good. So they click in. You can slide them open like that. This other one, same way, it's good too. Oh, we have a tonneau cover here. So there's a full tonneau cover, looks like. Probably old and won't hardly fit, would be my guess. And this is the top. And I actually laid it up on top there. You might see still pictures of it, where I put the top up and on these bows. It doesn't want to fit because it's too, it's shrunk up. It hasn't been on there in a long, long time. So out in the hot sun is probably what it needs. He had carpet. He had a towel down in here, but you can see how nice this trunk is in here. I can see a little bit of pitting right in there, but you know, this is not a patched up car by any manner of means. Now I want to open up the bonnet for you. We'll use this T-handle right here. You leave in the glove box. Anyway, turn that up, loosen it, other side, loosen it. And then you got to reach right underneath here and you got to push this down a little bit. Oh, there we go. It wants to hang up a little bit. And you got your strut right here. Put that in there. Now you can see this little 4-cylinder engine in here with the dual carbs on it and everything. Those are SUs. And you can see it's clean and decent. It runs good. The VIN tag is right over here on this far side over here. So did we put a new battery in this? Or was that the battery was in it? Okay. So there's the VIN tag right there for you. And you can just see this thing's right there. It runs good. Now you need to get your spare out. This is where your spare is kept. It's not up here in the trunk, but down below here. So you use your T handle wrench again, stick it in here, turn that, and then you do the same thing on this side over here. Stick it in there, turn that and loosen it up, and there's your spare right here. Look at that. It's old. It was a white wall. I suppose there's a little cracking in it. I think it's pretty old. And I see a lug wrench in there. And the jack. So that's it. How about that? So you got everything you need to do it. This should be like that to hold the tire in, I guess. Now you can see the interior in here is good. This back seat's here, all this door panels and stuff. I mean, it's a little wrinkly in here. It's probably, I'm sure it's original. This seat's solid. This seat folds ahead so you can get in there. You can see we've got seat belts in here, and we had these seat bases redone, and they just lift out of here real easy. So you can see all the bolts in here. That's why Andrew didn't want to pull it up, and it didn't need it anyway, because I had them put all new carpet in it. You can get pieces for this car real easy. Moss in it. They've got everything you want for it. We got the carpet set, the slave cylinder, and everything for it. And I don't know what kind of shape the steering wheel is underneath this here, but because it's got this leather cloth on it. But you can see the gauges across here all look good and everything. Which one's the starter? Is this one? Right here. You see it starts hard good. I'm going to use a key to open it. I want to show you how this top does, it works somewhat here. It's a little stiff. 2 people need to do it probably to pull it out. But you can see it's got the arms there. And Andrew's going to try and grab it there. So you get the idea. It sits there, and then the top just lays on top of here. So you can see it's all in good shape. Got the back window in there. And again, like I say, I tried to put it on once. But there's a little, well, you know what, it would help if I turn it over. There, now you can see how nice it is. And all that looks good. So you can snap this thing on if you wanted to. It gives you an idea what it's going to look like. But as I remember right, how you get it snapped on the back or the front, it needs to be warmed up a lot. I couldn't get it quite there. You can see well, I don't have it snapped in the back, so you can see it's a little bit tight. Sunshine helps a lot on that. But who wants to have it up anyway? And it's not the easiest top to do, but at least you get an idea what kind of condition it's in and everything. And of course this thing it folds back in here. Oh yeah, you gotta do it this way. You gotta lift that side up right there, Andrew. Oop. Is that right? Maybe it's got to go down. There we go. It's got to go down in. You can tell we don't know our way around a trial. We're going to show you the lights operating. Park lights. Headlights. High beam. Left turn signal, right turn signal, the horn, kind of a sick sounding horn, but it works, and the wipers, and they work. And we just discovered that it needs shorter wiper blades on it. I mean, it hasn't been out in the rain in a long, long time. Now has the new wiper blades. We'll start this engine up for you now so you can hear it run. Now the underside of this car has never been restored or anything, and so it's just like it's an accumulation. It does have a little bit of rust. This is one of the worst spots you're going to see is right here
in this piece of cross here, because the rest of the body is really good and solid, but it is grody. The muffler on here, it looks like it's fairly recent, along with the tailpipe right up to there. We'll see how the rest of it goes when we go up there. And you can see there's a lot of grease and grime back here. There's new wheel cylinders on both sides. Joe at Old School Garage did that when he's doing the service and safety check. He's got the e-brake working. I can see a new cotter pin up here on that and stuff. So the floor pans up here look all real good. I don't see any rust in here at all. All this looks good in here. This all looks good in through here. The floor pans look good across here. The frame, of course, all the frame and everything's good and solid. You know, I mean, it's crusty looking, and this is just black paint that comes off of there. So all this looks good. And the outside rockers on both sides, it looks good on both sides. Well, you can see right here, this is old, the head pipe coming off the engine, it's old, it goes through here. And again, all the floor pans up through here look good. Now, right along the inside of this rocker here, it's a little bit bad. It's not as bad as I've seen some things. Out here on the outside edge, looks good and solid. Everything looks good that way. Floor pans across over this side all look good. And you can see this is the bottom of the transmission there. And again, these floor pans up forward here look good too. This is, right here is the clutch slave that Joe put in, and that's, so that's all new too. So everything, again, this rest of this up through here looks good. The bottom of this engine, all this through here looks good. I mean, it's dirty looking and grody looking. It's got disc brakes on the front here, and everything looks good and solid. I don't see any, you know, like it's been crashed or dented or anything else. All the frame looks good all the way up through the front here. See where they came down. This car, of course, was red originally. You can't see this when the car's on the ground. You have to be on the hoist. But again, all these pieces here, they don't look like they've ever been dented or replaced from frame damage. Everything looks good and solid. Looks like a new radiator hose on here that Joe must have put on there. So you can see all this looks good all across here and everything. Joe, I can see fresh grease in there where Joe greased it up. You can see all this up through here. It all looks good and solid. I mean, everything looks good and solid. Rocker along here looks good. This floor pan coming up this way, it all looks good. Well, you can see on this right side here, this all looks good and solid. It's a little scuzzy looking right here. You like these words I use, scuzzy and grody? Anyway, the car's solid. It's not a piece of rust. It does have some rust holes in it, but it's not major. And you can see the drain holes are all in here good. I can see a little bit of red paint here from when it was painted red and everything.
I'm Andrew Drager, and if you have any questions about this vehicle, please don't hesitate to call or email us.
I'm Jerry Drager, and we're a father-son team, and we hope you enjoyed the video and understand that we really try really hard to go over the vehicle with this video to show you everything. Doesn't mean that I get every single spot or anything else, but I try, and Andrew and I both work really hard to make sure the vehicles are in top shape before they leave here. You got any questions, always give us a call or email us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. We really invite you to come see them. And if you can't, you should have them inspected. I think it's really important to make sure you understand what you're buying.